With the lying dumbbell row, you want to ensure you're in a fixed, stable position. To do this, make sure your abdominals are against the bench where you're bracing, making sure there's not too much of extension in the lumbar spine. If you have lower back pain doing this movement, move your knees further up so you can take your hips into a more flexed position. The goal here is to maintain tension in the traps and the lats, and then drive the elbows in towards the midsection, pulling the little finger, rotating it in towards the hips. Allow for a slight amount of thoracic extension as you come up, as you can see here, to get a shortened position of the lats and a really great contraction. The goal here is to use a weight you can take the movement through the full range with complete control, enabling a really good contraction with every single rep. A slight pronation, which is turning your hands overhand, and the bottom portion of the lift may be advisable if you have the shoulder control. As you bring in, go into thoracic extension, driving the elbows in towards the midsection. Inhale on your way up, exhale on your way down. This variation of a dumbbell row is for people who are training at a gym in busy times and may have limited access to equipment. It can be done very easily by grabbing 2 dumbbells and finding a little bit of space. The main thing here is to create as much intra-abdominal pressure as you can, using a little bit of thoracic extension to drive the elbows back and keeping that contraction through the lats. While going to the eccentric portion, you need to maintain that you keep control in the lats where they stay engaged, but the scapula are allowed to keep in control and go into that stretch position where you're not letting your shoulder blades fall forward and utilizing the upper traps to pull things back. So the whole time you need to think lats engaged and mid to lower traps holding onto the scapula. Then as you pull up, you want to have a slight supination of the hand where you're driving the little finger in towards the midsection, really pulling the elbows in towards the ribs like so. With this single arm dumbbell row variation, the goal is to have a stable setup from the beginning. Here Jay is resting his forehead against his forearm and holding onto the bench to give an area of support. From this position here, he's got a staggered stance in order with his opposing foot to the hand which is holding the dumbbell forward and the reverse foot back. This gives him a stable base in which he can stabilize his spine and then drive the elbow in towards the rib cage. He's inhaling as he's bringing up towards him, rotating the hands in towards him to slight supination, driving the elbow into the rib cage. One thing to notice as Jay does the movement is he first sets the scapula, pulls back, utilizing the lats and the mid to lower traps to fully go through the movement. Once again, watch, set the scaps, hold, drive the lats in towards the midsection with no compromise in the stable position of the spine. Allows you to have a more stable base to get an element of rotation to the movement. The main thing here is you have an even distribution for where the support of the knee and the hand. And as you bring the dumbbell up towards you, you get an element of rotation where you twist in towards the movement and get a stronger contraction of the lat. As always keep the mid to lower traps engaged so they hold onto the scapula as you go through the movement, and as you bring it towards yourself, add a little bit of momentum so you can drive the elbow up towards the rib caging, inhaling on the way up and squeezing the movement up to here. Again, you only need the elbow to about level with the torso. Going further than this may cause some issues in the shoulder, so don't be worried too much about the range of motion in the dumbbell and think more so about the quality of contraction in the lat and your ability to stabilize the scapula as you go throughout the movement.